From the Fair Warning release, that is Van Halen with the Mean Street, and there is rumor out there that the original Van Halen might be doing some kind of a tour this year, some kind of stadium tour with other bands. Mm-hmm. Do you know anything about that or know anything more than I do?
I'm going to tell you that my level of caring is below zero. So I have not investigated it. I've heard the same shit that you've heard, that yes, it's originals, and then no, Michael Anthony said he's not involved, which might just be a lie.
Well, you know how the media goes. I mean, if it's not an official announcement yet, the people involved can't say, yeah, that's happening.
Yeah, well, I have a simple thought. If Roth is involved, I have zero interest, and I will never spend another penny to see David Lee Roth. Fuck him.
Yeah.
He fucking stinks. He doesn't try. Fuck him. At $150, $200 a ticket, eat a bag of dicks. I'll sit home and listen to Fair Warning instead of... Roth's performance on the last set of tours was my fair warning to stay the fuck away from Van Halen tickets.
Right.
Fuck that.
Well, I was reading some of the comments on the YouTube out there. I guess Eddie had spoken about this a little bit. Okay. And a lot of people had a lot of the same exact thoughts we've had about acting like a vaudevillian act.
Right. Yeah.
You know, and it's funny because that's exactly what he's done. He thinks he's like old-timey vaudeville out there.
Right.
With the cane and the soft shoe and doing the tap dance and shit like that. But it's funny that, you know, that's the overall thought process when it comes to the current David Lee Roth fronted Van Halen.
Yeah, dude, why would you go see it?
You wouldn't. I saw it 3 times between 2007 and when we saw it, in 2014 or something? 13?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, it's been like 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I left after the 4th song.
Yeah, we left or we went and sat in the car, waited for stupid John, who was all drunk and just, this is the best shit ever. But, you know, we went and sat in the car.
Yeah, after he brought out the samurai sword and started swinging it around and shit, I was just like, I'm out of here.
It's just, you know, and I know a lot of people will say that they go just to see Eddie Van Halen. You know what? Fuck that. I've seen Eddie play all those riffs, all those same solos. He doesn't do anything that crazy different that's worth $150 fucking bucks to see it.
No.
Fuck them. You know, I say Van Halen retire or die. That's what I say.
Now, just and again, without the bias here, if say David Lee Roth straightened it up, maybe got some vocal help or lessons or whatever, and Michael Anthony did come back and say you saw a few YouTube videos where they were actually on, would you still have the same thoughts?
Yes.
Okay.
Because he's proven bad before.
Okay.
You know, dude, if the tickets, I'll put it this way. If it was old school and the tickets were $40, all right, I can afford to throw away $40.
Okay.
But I'm not going to I'm not going to sit on the lawn at Blossom Music Center for $100.
Yeah, pay hundreds of dollars.
Yeah, and I'm certainly not going to pay $250 hoping that David Lee Roth has his shit together.
Right.
He hasn't proven in 6 years. You know, I mean, he stinks. He's beyond lousy. I would spend more money to go see The Circle than I would to go see Van Halen.
Okay.
Because at least then I know that the songs would sound good.
Right.
You know, fuck Van Halen with with David Lee Roth.
Yeah.
You know, today. I like all the albums. I like all the albums except for the Sharon record. But man, to drop money on the shit, fuck that.
Yeah. Well, I agree. I completely agree. I mean, that experience that you and I and the rest of the crew had up in Wisconsin, that was the last time I saw them. No, I can't say that because I did get invited and I did see the show at Tinley Park. So I saw that I saw Van Halen 3 years ago and it still was no better.
Dude, if we didn't have the access that we had to hang out with all the bands and have such a fun time backstage,
yeah,
we would have been hating those shows as the worst fucking experience of our life.
That's true.
I mean, if we just drove and were sitting out front to watch those 4 bands play,
yes,
and had no access, we would have come back on the show. We'd still be talking about how much we fucking hate Van Halen.
Well, you're right, and the fact that we had the access and the opportunity to hang out, the hang was way better than the show.
Of course,
yeah,
it was. Yeah, I mean, the show was lousy. I mean, not the other 3 bands were good, but the Van Halen, and they were okay. The band, the 3 guys were okay, but Roth with the, hey, here's one that you guys might remember. Not the way you're singing it, dickhead. I can't even tell what you're singing, you fucking cocksucker.
Hail and Kill caller, you're on the air.
Hail and Kill. I was just calling to find out about what's going on with Kick Tracy.
It's K-I-C-K, Kick.
So, you know what I say? No Gary Cherone, no Van Halen.
That's Fuck what it. We say, Bob. God damn it.
No Wolfie, no
right.
Van Halen.
Fucky.
What's up, Robert?
What's going on, Bob? That's one phone call.
Not too much.
That's
hey,
one.
Is V still there? What's up, V?
Oh, she's gone.
She left.
Oh, she's gone?
Yeah, Chris kicked her ass out.
I pushed her right out the door.
Good man. You love them and leave them, right, Mr. Aiken? Take them for a nice dinner at the Applebee's and then do your little thing and say, get the fuck on out.
Right.
Is that how you treat the V? That's
and
right.
Scram.
Bob is a fan. Bob knows every nuance of the show.
I'm learning.
Here's your sandwich. Thanks for the motorboat. Now beat it.
There you go. So good to have you guys back.
Well, thanks, Bob. It's high praise from a award-winning producer like yourself.
Well, yes, it is true. I did win the Eric Braverman Heavy Metal Television Award, so I guess I am an award-winning producer-director. And Neely's going to be coming on down next month.
Yeah. What do you mean next month?
This month.
It's like 20 days.
That's right. It's a couple weeks. That's true.
Well, actually, it's only 18 days. 18 days.
This is correct. We're going to do a big promo starting Monday. We'll do a press release and whatnot, and I want to give an open invite to all the CMS listeners. If any of you guys are down in L.A. and you can meet the mighty Neely in person, plus a lot of the I've been talking to a lot of the artists that are in the movie, and most of them are going to be coming down for that, including your boy Nader.
Nice.
Will be coming down. So it'll be a star-studded event. Of course, it's part of the Hall of Heavy Metal History, so they've got their own people coming down. Your boy Eddie Trunk, of course, is hosting. So don't forget to bring that $100 bill, Neely.
I'm going to do that, Bob, and I hope you're going to have your camera at the ready.
We will. We'll have our photographers all set to go. So it'll be fun. David Ellison will be there with Frank Bello and
Ellison?
Portnoy and David Ellison, yeah. And who else? Lita Ford, Carmine and Vinny Appice. It'll be cool. There'll be a lot of performances. That'll be a cool thing. They'll do the red carpet thing. Then we'll do the band versus band screening, and they'll go right onto the awards show. So I went there last year. We had a blast. It was a really good time.
Bob, did you say Lita Ford's going to be there?
That's what it says, I believe.
Wow, then you better not bring your kids, right?
Supposed to be there.
The people should
yeah,
bring
I
their
heard
kids.
about that. Yeah, she doesn't get along too well with the kids.
Do you think she would be offended if I said to her, Lita, treat me like a redheaded stepchild?
I don't know. That depends if her kids have red hair. Do they?
Yeah, just don't treat me like your child.
So yeah, that's a crazy story, but she's always been a little kooky. I mean,
Yeah.
And a little is probably an understatement. But
well, the weird thing is, Bob, is that I've talked to Lita face to face a few times. Mm-hmm. She's a tiny girl.
Yeah, she's not that tall. She wears high heels a lot.
Yeah, I know, but she's just tiny. She's really small. She's short, but she's very petite. And to think, to think that she's, just can wail on somebody or be abusive. It's tough to fathom. I'm not doubting the stories, but it's just kind of bizarre to think that.
Well, especially that guy Jim Gillette. Have you seen him?
Yes.
I mean, he's now like all buffed out and shit.
Yeah.
Maybe he had to be after years of getting beaten.
That could be.
Well, I'm looking forward to jetting out there, Bob. I've booked a couple of first-class tickets and heading out.
Look at you.
Yeah.
All right. You coming down with your nephew?
I am. I'm coming with my nephew.
Awesome.
We got a couple of suites booked. We got first-class tickets. We're going to do this. We're going to do this upright.
All right, and you're all set for NAMM, right? Don hooked you
I
up
am.
there,
I'm all set for NAMM. We're
Very
good
cool.
to go.
Well, if you want to bring anyone down, if you want to bring Don or any of the guys down for the Hall of Heavy Metal History awards, bring them on down. It'll be fun.
Well, I've contacted a few people. I have not gotten a reply, but as time grows closer, maybe we'll see.
All right, yeah, it should be a good time for all. So again, if any of you guys want to come down, it's on January 23rd. It'll start at 6 p.m. and it's at the Marriott Delta Garden Grove in Anaheim. So it's the Marriott Hotel, not where the convention center is, but it's just about a mile south on Harbor Boulevard from where the NAMM show is, and it's the day before NAMM starts. So should be a lot of people in town. They're also inducting John and Marcia Z, from Megaforce. So they'll be there. Doro Pesh will be there for Chris Aiken. Yeah. So I know you guys are close, but it'll be a lot of fun. So, Jeff Scott Soda will be there as well. So I know you know Jeff pretty well.
Sure.
So, yeah, it'll be a lot of fun. Any of you guys want to come? The screening is absolutely free, and the award show itself, I believe, is $30. So come on down, hang out with Neely and his nephew.
Yeah, there you go. The stars of the show.
You get to meet Neely's nephew.
Right. That's a big plus and a bonus right there.
Absolutely.
So what else is going on with you, Bob? What are you working on? What do we have to look forward to? I know the screening of the Band versus Brand is that Wednesday night, the 23rd. So
right.
What is the release schedule as of today for any of the future releases for Inside Metal and anything else you're working on?
Well, yeah, the Band vs. Brand, we're going to do the premiere screening at the Hall of Heavy Metal History, January 23rd, and then we'll probably do maybe a couple of smaller private screenings. Might do something in Vegas since we have a lot of Vegas people involved, and we did I've got a really cool theater in Vegas where we could screen at. So that'll be coming out. That'll be probably in before the release. The release will be the first week of March. We'll be putting that out. They'll be coming out on Cleopatra on DVD, and probably a week later it should follow on all the streaming channels: Amazon, iTunes, Google Play. Hopefully, we'll get this on Access and a lot of the other Pluto TV and a lot of the other digital sources. And then the Inside Metal Bay Area Godfathers is due out probably summertime, I would say. Curtis Don Vito, I heard that interview you guys did with him during the holidays, which was very cool. Glad you got to Curtis and Snoo on there. He's editing the new Inside Metal title, Bay Area Godfathers. So hope to have that one out in the summer, and that will have the infamous Chris Aiken and Neely both in that as well. So that'll have a ton of people. That's gonna be a good one.
That'll be cool. And Bob, you don't know this yet because it just happened on the on January 2nd, but another Bob Nalbandian project has hit the hit commerce, as well as your appearance in my book, in my audio book, Cause and Effect Turbo, finally hit iTunes and finally hit audible.com and all those other places as well. So if people want to hear the little roundtable discussion that you and I had about Turbo, that is available as well right now.
Awesome. Send me the link. Or is it the iTunes link? I'll find it. I'll put that out because that was a great conversation. That was a great
it was fun.
We had. It was, yeah, absolutely.
It's all about networking,
cool,
Bob. It's all about the networking.
It is, Neely. It is, indeed.
I mean, I'm glad you give us a step up now and again, but it's all about the networking.
Indeed, it is, Neely. So, yeah, it's all good. So I'll be going. I'm back in San Jose now. I'll be coming back to LA for that weekend at NAMM. So I don't know if I'll be there all the days. You're planning on you're going to be there the whole weekend. Right?
I will be coming in for Wednesday afternoon, and I'll leave Sunday morning.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I'll be there probably. Do the Wednesday and then probably Thursday and Friday at NAMM. Maybe Saturday. We'll see. But your boy Toby will be there. Joel MacGyver's coming out too.
Well, so very good.
We got to do the hang with Joel. Yeah, a ton of people will be there. They should all be coming out down to the screening as well. But yeah, we'll definitely do the hang at NAMM as usual. And I know there's a lot of shows going on. I wanted to catch Marty Friedman. I think he's playing Thursday night, and they got all the jams going on and stuff. So we'll just kind of play it by ear.
Very good. I'm really looking forward to it. And the rule of thumb for me from now on, Bob, whenever I come to these things.
Yes.
No chicks.
No women.
No chicks. Yes. I'm sorry,
You're
girls.
Learning, Neely. You're learning.
I know. I love you girls, but I got to tell you what, you girls are a pain in the ass when it comes to going to these kind of things.
Well, you know what, dude? When you go to these things, you got to make it a boys' night.
It is. It's definitely a guy's thing. I learned my lesson, and it's a guy's thing. That's all there is to it. Yeah,
it's cool, and I dig Serena. In fact, Serena will probably be coming out to the screening, just so you know. And but when you do the whole hang for the weekend and stuff, and you're out with the boys, it's always you could always get loose with the guys around. And when you have a girl around, no matter how cool she might be, it's always a hindrance. You know what I'm saying?
That is true, Bob.
It just is.
That is true. So from here on out, starting with this one and whatever future NAMMs I get to attend, no chicks. Sorry, girls, but you can't go.
Dude, you know how bummed out the whole female population is right now? They can't hang out with Neely in L.A.
Well, they can hang out with me in L.A. They can't go in January during NAMM, though.
Jesus, the L.A. junior high schools are devastated.
Devastated or relieved, or at least the parents are relieved.
The parents are relieved, the children are not.
Well, I don't know. There's a couple of high schools around where the convention center is, and so we're going to have to keep you away from those. We know you'll be stalking those during the afternoon hours.
Too funny.
All right. So what else you got going on tonight?
Well, Bob, we toughed it out for 2 hours with our good friend Veronica. She hasn't been 3 hours. She hasn't been on.
Yeah, I heard a good portion of that.
She hasn't been on the show in literally years. And Chris surprised me with in studio guest tonight.
That was great, and I love Veronica, and I know she's been going through hell, with the passing of her husband. And it's good to have her back on board. It's good to hear her voice. I haven't been in communication with her. I think the last time we talked, or at least we hung, was when we had her on the Inside Metal Show on T Radio V. When we had you and Chris on.
Yeah, that's
Nader
been
was on, and
a couple years.
That's been a while. Yeah, absolutely.
But that's because of the restraining order, isn't it, Bob?
Oh, I think that is it. Yeah, I think during that show she kicked my ass too.
So good. Well, Bob, since you brought up the whole T Radio V, what is going on with your friend with his network? Has he restarted that, or what's going on with that?
No, he's been like traveling all over the place. In fact, I hit him up and I wished him happy holidays. I told him I was in LA and if he's going to be around, and he's been traveling all over. And I did invite him to the screening and to NAMM, so I'm hoping he's going to be in town for that. But he's he did this T Radio V thing. Then he started the Zena TV, had a new studio, And then he was supposed to get some new place. And, by then I had to move up here to the Bay Area because I started on, the Bay Area documentary and stuff. So I moved up here, and that, so it's been about a year and a half since he's hasn't done much. But I hope he gets something going, because he's a great dude, and he had a great great studio, as you said, great equipment, and so I'm going to talk to him. I'm hoping he'll be coming into town, and maybe we could set something up with him, because
now that T Radio V, he invited me down to the studio, and I got to walk through there and look at his setup and everything, and he had a lot of equipment in his building there and whatnot. So what did he do? Did he just warehouse all that stuff, or what did he do?
I guess. Well, he had a situation. Well, that building there, that one on the Santa Monica Boulevard that you went to, where T Radio V was, great building. Next door was Dr. Phil, his studio, and I think they were taking over the whole building or some shit like that. So that's why he left, and he got that new studio for Zenith TV, and I don't know if that was temporary or what. So I to be honest, I don't know. I don't know what happened, but I know with that, I'm sure he's got all the equipment. I mean, it was all his equipment, so I'm sure he's probably got it stored somewhere. And he was actually talking about maybe doing something in Vegas, because I believe, I don't know if, I know he was living in Vegas at the time. He was kind of living back and forth there in LA. So we'll see. Hopefully he'll be coming out to the screening at NAMM, and we'll be able to chat with him.
Right. Well, for those of you who may or may not know what we're talking about, a friend of Bob's who he introduced me to at a screening a couple of years ago, he had a online television station called T Radio V, and it had a lot of different programs on there. Bob had a show on there called Inside Metal, and you did that for what, an hour, or was it 2 hours?
Yeah, it was one day a week for an hour, and I posted. He gave me all those because the T Radio V site got hacked.
Okay,
and everything got, and that was years ago. And so all the shows, on the site got hacked. But he, the producer Jake, sent me all the shows. So I actually put them up on YouTube about a year ago. I haven't really tracked them or anything. I just threw them up there because a couple people wanted to see some of those. So if you want to see some of the shows, and there were at least three, maybe 4 episodes with Chris and Neely on it. One was with Gonzo. One was with, of course, V and Nader, and we had you on a couple times separately, I think. So I think those are all up there. Just go on YouTube. Just go to the Bob Nalbandian channel, and there's like about 30 T Radio V episodes with Steven Adler, Jeff Scott Soto, Sam Dunn, Doug Pinnick. John Bush, a couple episodes. John Bush. So yeah, check that out. I did post several of the episodes up there. So
sure. Well, getting funding to do that kind of a project, can be expensive, especially if you don't have any real commercial sponsorship. And if you have deep pockets, I guess you could do that kind of a thing. But your undertaking. Now, we talked about this a little bit before, and I'm always curious about the funding for putting together this excellent Inside Metal documentary series that you've been doing. And how is this funded, Bob? This is a personal funding thing, right? Not from you, but in general.
Well, it's actually a company, Metal Rock Films. Warren Croyle has reality entertainment. Metal Rock Films is a part of it. He's got a lot of different subdivisions. His main films are conspiracy films on aliens, Bigfoot. A lot of them do great. He's got the Discovering Bigfoot. That's one of the top Netflix documentaries, I guess, out there. And he does UFOs, all that kind of conspiracy stuff. But he's an old school metal guy. So that was a project that him and Joe Floyd, were talking about, and they got me involved, and we made it made it into reality, put out the 6 films. So he funds everything. And it's, again, it's not a big budget, obviously. It's, as you know, and as people know, DVDs, much like CDs, the industry's changed a lot. So most people stream movies these days. There's not too many people buying the physical DVDs. Although I will say the Inside Metal has done really well on Amazon DVD.
Well, every time I pull up my Amazon and suggested watches, I always see an Inside Metal pop up there all the time.
That's good to know. Good to know. So yeah, it's good. So he's doing that. Of course, the band versus brand is Cleopatra, who everyone knows. The Cleopatra label, and they have a lot of sub labels. They did the D-Rock and a lot of those tribute CDs and stuff throughout the years, and they're getting really into doing movies, a lot of film. Cleopatra Entertainment. So. They're great people. I love Brian and Tim Yasui over there, and so it's a pleasure working with them. I really hope to do some more movies with them in the future, and they'll be down at the screening as well. I know you know Tim, right?
We do. He's been on the show.
Yeah. Great.
Now, will your next documentary undertaking be inside the author's studio with Chris Aiken?
Yes, that might be good. It could sell maybe 2 or 3 copies. And I know Bob, one of them will be Tim. One of them will be Tim James for sure.
Bob, over the holidays we passed 1,000 copies of the Turbo book.
I know. I'm just teasing you, dude. I should get you to do promotion, man. You're a promotion machine out there.
Of course, man.
Yeah. I need to get more involved, in doing the whole social media. You know who was such a great help promoting the Inside Metal movies, and I miss her dearly, was Gina Zamparelli. She was always on Facebook promoting the hell out of it, and she had her own Facebook pages, and her, she would just be on there nonstop and doing a lot of stuff. So now I got to kind of get back into trying to, post the stuff and all that kind of social media bullshit, which I hate, but got to be done, I guess.
Well, Bob, since you brought up Gina, and I only met her the one time, you were kind enough to introduce me to her when I came out to the screening. Nice girl, attractive lady. Were you surprised at her passing? I mean, because I saw it on Blabbermouth, I think. And it was just like, holy shit, Gina died. It's just like, geez.
I think it was pretty sudden. I mean, everyone was pretty surprised. She had, I don't know if it was an accident, if she fell.
Well, didn't she have like a brain tumor or something?
Well, yeah, but I think at first she had hit her head, from what I understand, and she was in the hospital briefly, and then came, and I was like wondering. I talked to her friend. Is she okay? And they said, yeah, she's back at home. And then I saw her back active at Facebook, and then I figured, wow, she's okay. And then I guess apparently she had a hemorrhage or something of something similar, and they found that the tumor or whatever, and it was like in the center of her brain. It was inoperable. And at that time, she went into a coma, and they just, basically they couldn't operate. So, it happened real suddenly.
It was really real quick.
Yeah, it was quick, and of course, Willie Bass passed away.
Yeah, actually, Curtis Don Vito. We talked about him a little bit during the interview.
That's right. He played in Snoo. Yeah, he played in Snoo for a while. Great dude, and he came to all our screenings. A very, very legendary guy on the LA scene. He's been on the Strip since the very early 80s. I saw him back in, I think, 84 with 83, 84. I think it was 84 with Black Sheep with Paul Gilbert playing guitar just before Slash joined his band. So that was sad as well, because I know he had been ill for a while with cancer, and he had come out to a few of the screenings and hung out and stuff, and then he kind of disappeared for a while, and then I had heard he passed. So
yeah, well, you actually introduced me to him 2 years ago at the NAMM show.
Yeah, I remember you said that. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Very cool. Well, Bob, you're a legend. You've were in it from the very early days, and now you got a chance to document it. And who better than a guy who actually was there when a lot of this took place?
Very true. I am old. If that's what you're trying to say.
I'm not, Bob. You and I are the same age. I just had my 55th birthday on Christmas, so
yeah.
Well,
I just always think it's kind of being at the right place in the right time. And I saw the first Metallica show. I saw some of the earliest Motley shows and Rat and Great White when they were Dante Fox. I saw Slayer playing the clubs when they were a cover band, and they used to come to my house all the time. And when I was starting Headbangers fanzine, we'd hang out, watch metal videos. Rocky from Suicidal would come on down, and all this was all centering right in L.A. And then Dave Mustaine, I did the first interview with him because I knew him when he was in Metallica, and we all hung out. And and Lars lived in Newport, where I was in Huntington Beach, and he was just 10 miles south. So me and my buddy Pat Scott would go to Lars's house and his folks' house, and this is when when he was forming Metallica. So you didn't know back then that this was like something historic. You just thought, you're just hanging out, and because everyone were just metal fans. You're just hanging out listening to metal, and so many bands played their early shows in Orange County. I saw U2's very first show in front of like 50 people at the Woodstock. Not even I think by the time they went on, there was maybe like 10 people in the audience. So, and I saw like their first song and walked out. And yeah, it was Guns N' Roses. I saw their very first shows. So it's just living in LA and being a part of that whole scene. Seeing all those great early bands, even from the Pioneers days. The Snow, and I never saw Quiet Riot with Rhodes, and I never saw Van Halen at the clubs, but saw a lot of those other early bands, and Steeler, of course, and it was just cool being right in the epicenter, when that was all happening.
Well, again, like I said, they got the right guy to do the job.
Well, thank you, Neely.
Well, hey Bob, I'm gonna be seeing Metallica at the end of the month. Am I gonna have a good time or not? Because I know you just saw them.
I enjoyed it, man. I was at the Fresno show, and I'm not a big fan of the whole in the round shit.
Yeah.
And they're doing that again. I saw them the last few times. They did some like little private shows, like in Oakland, and and of course they did that Fillmore thing, the big 30th anniversary, and a bunch of other shows where, they were the smaller venues. So I was kind of used to see. And then, of course I saw them at the Rose Bowl, and that was, that wasn't in the round. And I don't know, in the round is just for whatever reason, any show, it's not just Metallica. I just kind of, it's just funky. I don't like it as much. So that, that set aside, they fucking performed great. They sounded amazing. They did a pretty solid set, of songs. I saw them in Fresno, so it was like seeing them in fucking bumfuck Egypt. So, but they hooked me up. So we had seats on seats, and we also had the floor passes, and so it was fun. It was the show itself was great. Again, I'm not a big fan of the whole in the round thing, but Jim Brewer, you might want to skip. That was kind of nothing. It was
Get
kind
there
of
late.
a filler to exactly get there late or hit the bar then, because
get your beer and piss break in early.
Yes, exactly. So, but no, the show itself was great. Yeah, I
cool.
enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, because I know it's been a while since I saw them, because I saw them a couple of times in a row and they just sucked, and it was like
really.
But dude, this is how long ago this was. I saw him on St. Anger, and that was awful.
Well, no wonder, yeah.
And the time before that I saw him was I forget what record. It might have been Reload or something, but was when they were doing the acoustic, like they would sit on stools and they would do all old songs, but they did them acoustic. Yeah. And it was like,
I skipped that whole Load and Reload and the Saint Anger. From Death Magnetic on, I saw those tours from there on, and they were just back in form. I mean, they sounded great. They looked great. A lot of energy. Played a great set. I mean, they definitely kicked ass. It was a damn good show.
All right, yeah. I mean, I did see. Now I'm thinking about it. I did see Death Magnetic, and that was pretty good. But we had, of course, Cleveland had technical problems where they had 25 minutes of stop in the middle of the show to fix a fucking whatever, some amp set or some shit, which totally derailed it. And I'll be honest, I hated it. I don't know if they're still doing it or not, but I hated when they dropped the beach balls and were kicking beach balls into the crowd.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. You're Metallica, not fucking Bon Jovi.
But they were black balls, dude.
Yeah.
Black
so
balls
what?
Are metal.
So what? It wasn't metal. It was rubber.
They didn't do that this time. They were sending butterflies out to the audience and releasing them, and it was beautiful. They actually had these drones, which actually was kind of cool.
I've seen the video of that. It does look pretty cool.
Yeah, it is a great stage show. For people that love the in the round thing, they think it's great because each of the band member, especially up on the floor, you could get within 50 feet of them,
Right.
They're of course Robert, he's all over the stage, and so is James and Kirk. They still move great. They're definitely a solid live band.
Good, because I'm hoping that my $350 investment for 2 tickets was not wasted.
Jesus. All right. Well, I'm not going to go that far, but I'll just say it was a good show.
Well, when you're on the Inside Metal, you get your tickets comped.
That's right.
Yes. I'm fortunate.
It's weird because
for that.
It's weird because it's one of those that I probably could have made a phone call on, and I just chose not to call in the favor. Honestly, it's one of those that is as big as Metallica is. I'd rather hold the favor for something a little because they haven't been good the last few times that I've seen them. I didn't want to waste a favor on what could have been a shit show.
Yeah, he's holding out for Rat.
Stop.
I hear you. So, that's why I saw him in Fresno, and so it was cool. It was we stayed the night there because it was like a 3-hour drive or whatever, 2.5 hours. So, so we had fun. We had a party. Phil and Gonzo from Armored Saint were there. They came up, and so we hung out with them and a couple other people. So, just make a night of it. You'll have a good time, dude.
Cool.
Perfect. Well, Bob, we always appreciate you calling in and bringing us up to date with what's going on with you, and give people the links where they can find out about the whole Inside Metal and all that kind of good stuff.
Oh, shit. Just, we got the metalrockfilms.com, and if you want to get any of the Inside Metal films, best place I would say is Amazon. Just go to Amazon.com, type in Inside Metal. You could buy it on DVD, or you could stream it through Amazon Prime, which seems to be one of the most popular places to stream. You could do that. And then the band versus brand, you could go to CleopatraEntertainment.com. We got the trailer, the two trailers up there. And
is there any pre-order to pre-order that, Bob?
No, I don't think there is yet. I'm gonna talk to Cleopatra. I'll be actually having a conference call with Tim Yasui early next week. So I'm gonna find all the details about all that, and I will let you know. And we'll let you can go on my Facebook page. I'll keep people posted.
Yeah, well, we're getting away from Facebook, Bob. That's yesterday's news.
I don't blame you. Yeah, you're all about the Gab, right?
The Gab and the Reddit. And
so what the fuck is this Reddit? There's so much fucking shit. I do Facebook just because I've done that so long. You know me. I fucking don't know shit about social media. I got a Twitter account. I go on there maybe once a month and do stuff. Instagram, I think I might have opened an account. I'm never on that. I never did. But now I hear there's, Reddit, Tumblr, all these other, Snapchat, of course.
Well, Reddit, the reason people are using Reddit is because it's a lot less censored. It's not.
Is that good? Okay.
They don't pull shit down, so you can. And I mean, it's not 100%, but I mean, compared to Facebook or, we Classic Metal Show, we know we're going to get our Facebook closed at some point, and our Twitter and our YouTube and all that shit. So that's why I started the alternative stuff, the Reddit and the BitChute and the Gab, just so that.
But your Facebook page isn't that bad, is it? I mean, do you ever get suspended?
It's about the videos. It's when we post a video and it has the word nigger in the title, Neely. Then it gets censored. And eventually they'll just pull it all together. Eventually they're going to listen to content and then pull it. And we just know that. I mean, it's just the way it is. If they're pulling content from Alex Jones because he's reporting, just because he's reporting stuff that they don't buy, what are they going to do with us who are just not pandering to the transgender community or whatever? They'll pull us.
I think they're looking at people like Alex Jones as a threat.
Yeah, for now. For now, but dude, it always trickles down.
It's good to have it covered. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
And maybe you could Neely could retitle the fucking episodes better too. But that's
but they have algorithms now that listen to the words in the content now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know YouTube's been censoring like crazy. So no, it's good to have it covered, man. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah. Well, YouTube, and with us, YouTube took the first step by demonetizing us. Not that it matters; we weren't making any real money or anything anyway from it. But the fact that they demonetized it because we were too shocking for the advertising base is, that now we're on their radar. So the next step will be to cancel the channel. And we know that.
Well, but it's not only they've demonetized a lot of my, and not that I don't even think I even monetize them, but they said, or they would say it's demonetized, or they'd say something, it's not, but because I would have little excerpts of songs in there. In the intro to like the T Radio V, or I would run that contest. I'd run the contest and I'd have like 10 seconds of a song, and then it would list the songs on there. Oh, you can't monetize. You got, and then there's certain countries that can't play it because of it. So I'm like, fuck it. I don't give a shit. I don't even promote it on there. I just post it up for, because a few people wanted to see it. But I mean, what I'm saying, it's not just
No. But that's individual videos, Bob. They demonetized our whole entire channel.
Oh, all right.
All 3,000 videos they took down.
I won't say I'm surprised, but
I'm not surprised. It's the nature of the beast. It's why I started this stuff back in August or September, whenever it was that I did, because I saw it coming.
Yeah. Well, ultimately, I think people are just going to have their own websites up and just post on their website, videos and episodes and podcasts direct on the website.
Yeah.
And, that's going to be the only way, and hopefully people, I mean, if I would get the fuck off Facebook too, if I only use it for promotion, and it is great, I got to say, for, promoting stuff like, the screening or the release of the movies or whatever, I use it as a tool. But for people that, post all their fucking political shit or about their family or everything they've fucking done today and this and that, that's fine for some people. That's great. And, I've got a lot of friends that do that, but I just, that's not me. That's not something I want to, share with the public and whatever. I do it basically for promo. So, but that's the only reason I'm on there. But I think if more people just would get off, these networks and have a new one, whether it be, I haven't been on Gab. I'll have to check that out. Is it getting pretty popular, or is it like?
It's growing. I mean, they say it's the fastest growing of the alternative ones, but I don't know. Reddit is so easy that I actually just set up our Reddit page, and then I I did some programming so that everything that posts to Reddit then ends up on the Facebook, so that I don't have to update in multiple places. I just got myself a Zapier account and
I will check that out. I guess Reddit is fun. I just read some. I was reading some about Reddit. Some Armenian dude that owns it, and the guy's a fucking billionaire. I'm like, what the fuck is Reddit? Is Reddit that? Dude. Are these social media sites that big? Where even these smaller ones, or these guys are fucking billionaires?
Reddit is huge, dude. Reddit's been around for a long time. Reddit.
I remember hearing the name, but I thought it was kind of like a fucking MySpace. Or something now. I don't know. I hear the name, but I don't know anyone who uses it until you and a couple other people brought it up just recently, and I'm like, okay, maybe. I always see the little logos, and you see the little logos of all that
spaceman guy,
Facebook, Tumblr, blah blah blah. Yeah, Reddit. All the. But I'll definitely check that out.
It's a groundswell, Bob. A groundswell.
And see, I'm like Neely. I could give a fuck. I don't.
Dude,
give me a fucking 8-track tape and a fucking Betamax videotape and
in a 1970 Chevelle SS.
There you go, man.
Look, you both know how active I used to be on Facebook, and now it's like I don't post anything but songs on my personal Facebook page, and I don't think I've made a post on my Twitter since like September or something. Yeah. I'm done. I don't give a fuck anymore with it. Truthfully, I don't give a fuck what anybody says on Facebook anymore, and I don't care if people want to know what I'm doing. I got business pages for everything I'm doing.
Yeah, he's got porn to watch and peepees to whack.
That's right.
There you go. Hey, as long as your youth porn channel doesn't demonetize you or doesn't de-censor you, you'll be fine, Chris.
Bob, YouPorn is so 2012, man. It's all about Xvideo.
Pornhub.
Pornhub is okay, but xvideos.com is where the really good dirty shit is.
Is it Xvideos or Xhamsters? I know you like them.
No, Xhamster not good. Xhamster's got too much spam going on.
What about UJizz? I just heard about that one.
Is that a real site, UJizz?
Yeah. Well, dude, you know what was funny? I was listening back to one of your episodes, and I heard the one that you said about ApeTube, and you're talking about all the different categories, like lesbian, midget, transsexual, fucking, interracial, and I'm thinking, what the fuck? You're making this shit up. I go on the site, and there actually is like 1,000 categories. So the fact that they actually have a category saying, transgender man, fucking midget, interracial Asian woman, that means there must have been thousands of people asking for that. That they would have to make a category of that.
Yeah, we're educational here, Bob.
Well, Bob just
I thought I was demented and sick. Jesus Christ.
Bob, you just educated me. I just now went to ujizz.com, and my goodness, this is quite a quality site.
See, there you go. I'm turning Chris onto some good porn. Maybe we'll have to do another Underbelly Part 2, Chris. Get you a part of it. We'll get you to produce it.
I'm watching a video I'm watching a 4.5-star video right now called "Warm Welcome."
Is it?
Well, there you
go. Is it YOU or is it just? Is it YOU jizz or you jizz? Just the letter U.
It's not me, but you.
No, YOUjizz.com.
You
and I'm
jizz.
sure as we're speaking right now, there's probably about 30% of the CMS listeners are going to youjizz.com. Let me check this out. And pretty soon in the chat room, you're going to be seeing a lot of posts up there.
Now I watched Your Mom Suck Dick Part 2, and boy, this girl can tweak on a cock. My goodness, look at her go. Wow.
Well, soak it up while you can, Aiken, because they're going to be banning you from that channel as well.
Oh, that's too funny.
Yeah, isn't that funny that all the porn sites, it's okay, they don't ban anyone, but you do just a titty shot on Facebook or YouTube or whatever, and you're fucked.
Yeah, exactly. You're shut down for a month.
Yeah. Interesting. Well, all right, boys and girls.
All right, Bob. Well, I'm gonna close out this interview. I'm gonna play something from the John Bush era of Anthrax. Of course, we know we love John Bush and Armored Saint, and that is one of my top favorite bands, next to Metal Church and Dokken and Tesla and all those good bands. You ran a kind of a weekly live thing, Black Lodge, with John Bush, right?
Yeah, you remember that. That was late 90s.
Right. Tell us a little bit about that, and we'll close out this little segment with you with some Black Lodge. Tell us a little bit about that, Bob.
Dude, that was awesome. That was with John Bush and Toby. I think we started it in 98. And if you remember at the time, metal was on an all-time low. It was before, all the downloading and stuff of music and all that, and record labels didn't, metal was just, it was dying. I think Pantera was the only band really keeping the, at least the thrash, the heavy scene alive. And we just were talking, and we're like, fuck, man, there's like no metal clubs, or there's no, place for, metal shows or whatever. And we said, let's just start a metal club. And it was that, and we did it at Club Lingerie, which is a popular LA club. It was more of an alternative club in the 80s and stuff. I mean, I remember seeing Tool there a few times, and that's another band. I saw the first few shows of Tool and Rage Against the Machine, and what was Tom's old band? I think Lockup or something. Those kind of bands would play Club Lingerie. But in the 90s, they redid the club, and we did Wednesday nights there, and we had a blast, man. We were just cranking up metal, and then we had like Scott Ian, guest DJ. We had Zach Wilde, guest DJ. Fucking Bruce Dickinson came down and guest DJ'd. Brian Slagle did one night, and it was just a fucking party. We just got drunk and stupid and cranked up metal music, and it was a good time, man. We kind of started the scene, and that was about the time we were playing all the classic metal, and this was when bands like System of a Down, Disturbed, and Static X, and Rammstein, and some of those newer bands who were real underground at the time. We were playing a lot of that, the new, which was the newer stuff at the time. We're talking 98, 99 into 2000, and then we were doing it at Dragonfly. Toby and I were doing it at Dragonfly for about a couple months, and had some good times. I can tell you some crazy stories about that sometime, but maybe on another episode.
Perfect. Well, Bob, the reason I started the Classic Metal Show, tomorrow will be our 23rd anniversary, and
I heard.
Yeah, well, actually, it's today. I guess if you're on the East Coast, it's today. But 23 years ago today, I started the CMS, and for the exact same reasons. Because, nobody was promoting or playing that kind of stuff, and I was determined that I was going to keep it happening, and I did. So
we took the risk. When no one else would, we went out there, and everyone's like, metal's dead. What's metal? I mean, like Poison and stuff like that. Metal music is dead.
Right.
And at that time, even the newer, what you would call metal bands, they weren't even, calling, bands like Tool and whatever. They were all staying as far away from the metal moniker as possible,
Sure.
So, everyone thought metal was, Poison and Warrant, and is that what you guys are going to be playing?
So who are you mimicking when you do that voice, Bob?
Is it Natalie? I don't know.
Well, Bob, our 25th anniversary is coming up in 24 short months. So if you got another idea for a documentary film, you can do the history of the Classic Metal Show.
All right. Well, that'll be good for another three buyers. I just busted your balls. So that would be something cool. But I mean, I don't know. You don't have any old video footage, so I don't know how we could. I think maybe audio podcast, but how would you do video unless you actually film some of the?
We would do reenactments, Bob.
Okay, reenactment. Who would we get to play a young Chris Aiken and a young Neely? Maybe
Chris
a
Farley's
Justin
corpse.
Bieber?
Chris Farley's corpse.
Maybe we could get the same guys that are playing Tommy Lee and Vince Neil in the new Motley Crue movie to play Neely and Chris.
Right, exactly.
Great. That'll be realistic.
All right, Bob. Well, I'm looking forward to catching up with you again in a couple of weeks.
Absolutely. We'll have a good time, man. Look forward to seeing you. And hopefully one of these days, Mr. Aiken, I will have the pleasure of meeting you as well.
I already told you. I told you last year that when this one has the one that's coming out has the premiere, I'm coming.
All right. Hopefully, I'm thinking probably mid to late summer. So I'll keep you posted.
Okay, I will be there.
All right, Bob.
Very
as
cool.
always, it's a pleasure. And
all right, guys. You have a good night, and I'll continue to listen on.
All right. Well, we're going to play some Anthrax. This comes from the John Bush release with the Sound of White Noise, and this is Black Lodge exclusively here
on your classic
on
metal
your
show.
Classic Metal Show.